Good afternoon, everybody. Right off the bat here, we're looking at this really neat bird. You can see the boomerang-shaped eye there and the little layers there kind of showing its direction with its beak on the left-hand side. And if you look closely at the definition there, there's so many little carvings on here. But this bird right here is very neat that we see. It's almost like a thunderbird head or a big hawk head. If you look at this whole thing as being the big feathers coming out of the back of the head, and then this being the beak. And then if we flip it over just a little bit further, we see it turns into a different type of bird. So now it's like a prehistoric bird almost looks like. You see the big beak there in white. Of course, you see the carving. And then the very large eye. There's different eyes though, and you see this weird crest, how it comes up and down. It's kind of separated right here. Almost looks like different separations for different sections. I'll give you a good look at that one. As we tilt it there, you can see how the eye shape comes out and that beak and those crests. What the heck is that, right? Is that a prehistoric bird or a dinosaur? Peculiar. So we got hominoids that we're seeing. You see these big mouthed figures with this very defined upper, or I guess lower cheek. You know, the upper cheek would be here. Of course, his eye in there. You can see the mouth and how the nose is done there. Lots of hominoid figures. This stuff is old, guys. It's very old. I'm starting to figure it out. I try to just let the art teach me. I don't, even my best friends, I don't listen to them. I listen to what these things are showing me. And so far, I'm seeing that this stuff is woo-wee. I mean, obviously, because no one can recognize it just off the bat unless we point it out to them. So these portraits on here are very defined with the humans, but we're going to kind of focus on the birds, but I'm just seeing these carvings for these portraits here showing up very well, and I just want to share them with you while we see them. So of course you can see the cheeks and the jawline and the chin on the very bottom. You're seeing different ones as well. I think you can see a big carving for an eye, of course, right here. Ooh-wee. So let's go ahead and look at the other bird here. So there's birds all over this sucker. He's a bird in flight this direction, and you can point him to make him just perfect, but he's got kind of his dual wings going on there. Tilt him a little bit so you can make him fly. There we go, a little better. And he's a bird so many ways. Sometimes he can kind of represent a cardinal head too, if you get him right. And I guess like that would be like the cardinal head for sure, or a blue jay, let's say. The big swoop right there, and of course the eye right there. And then there's our prehistoric one. And then upside down, it's one like this as well, with the beak, full bird this time. You see how the beak is a different height, and then the eye there. The beak is actually jutted up pretty big, but it's the way that it's built there. You can see how that's showing the tail. And then when we flip it like this, bear with me, here we are. This is another one. Look at that thing. Another big cardinal full bird, this time with a big carving for the eye right here, of course, and the beak. And you can see how the tail even has a tab for the tail right here. And let's go ahead and give this a tilt and move it in some different lights here. It actually looks better with kind of tilt it like this. There we go. All right, well, let's see what else. We have just a couple more minutes here. There's a portrait, of course, on this left side facing to the left. You can see how the nose is poking out right here, and then the chin. And if you look right where this carving is, there's going to be the details for the eye right there. Of course, another hominoid more than likely with the large nose here. You can see when we lift this up, you can see how the eye gets round and the circles and the details for the eye. They're in there. And there's probably a crow as well. We can see this figure right here with the recessed beak again. The beak is kind of separated with that line right here. Right here. And then likely looks like the face of a bird. If I get it just right there, you can see that defined beak. And this isn't something that I've been able to really study yet, so just kind of figuring it out with you guys. This one really is showing up very nice. So isn't that neat? And look at it, you know, forget everything that we just did and just look at it as just a rock. You know, we would have never known. It's hard to know. But when you actually look at the physical characteristics of the rock as well, you start to notice that it's, you know, it's painted. This is coated in some type of very thick, dark paint, and sometimes it actually has a smell to it as well. So underneath here is sometimes red in different colors. So, all right, guys, have a great one. Thank you for joining me for this. It was my pleasure. Have a great one. Bye-bye.